It is 4 p.m. We're bringing developing news and the stories behind the headlines. This is Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao. Some stories we're watching this Friday, May 15. Ombudsman Boying Remulla has placed Acting Senate Sergeant-at-Arms Mau Aplasca under a 6-month preventive suspension. That's over his discharge of a firearm during the Senate shooting incident last May 13. Remulla says that such actions by and against law enforcement will not be tolerated and must be investigated. Aplasca earlier admitted that he was the first to fire warning shots, triggering Wednesday's chaos at the upper chamber. Meantime, Ombudsman Remulla also said Senators Robin Padilla and Jingo Estrada will be included in the investigation over the Senate incident. Padilla will be probed in connection with the reported departure of Senator Ronald De La Rosa from the Senate compound, while Estrada over his statement urging the preservation of CCTV footage after the Senate shooting. Remulla says the investigation will cover all involved parties, including the NBI o SAA or the Office of the Sergeant-at-Arms and police personnel. Senator Bato de la Rosa has asked to be placed under the custody of the Philippine National Police. That's according to Acting Senate Sergeant-at-Arms Mau Aplasca, who claimed to have overheard the request. That was before Aplasca was placed on preventive suspension. De la Rosa's whereabouts remain unknown until now, with no immigration record showing he has left the country. Philippine Military Academy Alumni Association Incorporated Chairman and CEO Ricardo David Jr. has called on members to maintain unity and non-partisanship. That's amid public discussions involving PMA alumnus Senator Ronald De La Rosa. David urges members to remain calm, circumspect, and respectful despite differing views within the Corps. He said differences of opinion should never undermine mutual respect among Cavaliers, stressing that the brotherhood must remain stronger than any division. And the National Grid Corporation has extended the red alert status over the Luzon grid from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. The yellow alert is also in effect from 11 p.m. to 12 midnight. NGCP has also declared an extended red alert over the Visayas grid from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. That will be followed by a yellow alert from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. A red alert status is issued when power supply is insufficient to meet consumer demand. A yellow alert, on the other hand, is declared when the operating margin falls short of the transmission grid's contingency requirement. And joining us today is Storycon's resident political philosopher, the ever-reliable, especially every Friday, Raul Llamas.
Happy weekend! Huh?
Balita ko, bising-busy ka.
Ako?
Oo.
Bored na bored nga ako. Wala akong ginagawa eh. bored na ako. I'm preparing for another tumultuous week next week.
Oh, so we should call it the resident political plotter na lang.
Ako?
Would that be more
ako?
Would that be more appropriate?
Oh, I'm so insignificant. No?
Naku, yung mga
Hindi,
ganyan.
unlike Manny Mogato.
Like Manny Mogato,
yeah, no,
our One News Defense editor, who now joins us over there, Mr. Mogato.
Ay,
Kamusta ka dyan?
hapon, Ed. May secret ako eh. Ito,
Ano
yan.
yan?
Ako kuling iba to.
Ano yan? Interpol. Hindi ko mabasa.
Manila.
Aba.
kaya.
Mabuti pa si Ami Pamintuan, nababasa niya eh. Ami Pamintuan, kamusta ka dyan?
Siyempre, nakikita ko yung Zoom dito.
Ayan, si
Hi,
Ami.
everybody. Hi. Mukhang mahaba na naman ang araw natin ngayon.
Nakahanda na ba?
Everybody.
Nakahanda na ba Ami yung
Too much
headline?
excitement, ano? Too much excitement.
Nakahanda na ba Ami yung headline nyo para sa next week?
Mukhang may nagbabadyang ano eh. May nagbabadyang...
Meron na naman nga eh. Meron na naman. Oo.
Nabanggit ko
Kaya
na yan
sigurado
sa...
itong weekend na to, ano na naman, magulo na naman.
Nabanggit ko na yan sa episode namin ni Ami nung isang araw.
Okay. So yung tawa ni Ami, ano yan, conspiratorial din yung tawa niya.
Nabanggit ko na yan. Oo. Buti na lang walang session.
Parang yung palit ng liderato, parang pagpapalit ng t-shirt ah.
Talaga namang ganyan dyan sa, ganyan naman talaga dyan sa Senate. although not ano, hindi ganyan kalala nung mga nakaraang dekada.
Yeah. Kasi
Hindi
the
naman
margins are
ganyan.
getting smaller eh. Every time there's there's a turnover, the margins are getting narrower and the loyalties
nga
are getting more looser. Am I correct?
Buti na lang, walang session ng Senate ngayon. Kundi may bagong headline na naman.
Oh, anong bagong headline? Dare I ask?
Meron ng malalaking istorya, wag mo nang dagdagan. Okay na yung malalaking istorya ngayong araw. Oo.
Ay, guys, may biglang nag-media briefing ang DOJ. Can we tune in first and see what's up with the DOJ?
sige.
Sige, let's tune in.
Sige.
Ayan, si Secretary.
Meron na silang report eh. Nag-consolidate na sila ng report.
Okay?
And let me read my statement. This is to provide an update regarding the incident that occurred at the Senate. Actually, the 2 days from May 11 to 14, we're looking at, no? The Department of Justice wishes to emphasize on 3 points. First, the DOJ recognizes the gravity of any firearm-related incident occurring within or near the Senate of the Philippines, a co-equal branch of government. Second, the DOJ will proceed strictly on the basis of verified facts and evidence. Third, the department remains committed to ensuring a fair, impartial, and professional investigation consistent with the rule of law. And for these reasons, I have directed the constitution or creation of a special panel of prosecutors to conduct a comprehensive case build-up investigation into the incident. The panel shall be vested with such powers as may be necessary to enable it to conduct an impartial, thorough, and just investigation, including the authority to issue subpoenas. I likewise am directing and ordering all concerned law enforcement agencies, including the PNP, particularly its scene of the crime operatives, the NCRPO, the Pasay City Police Station, as well as the National Bureau of Investigation, to preserve and submit within 48 hours from receipt of the order all relevant evidence and records pertaining to the series of events that transpired at the Senate complex from May 11 to May 14, 2026. Likewise, the DOJ shall request the Office of the Sergeant at Arms through the Office of the Senate President to submit a report and turn over all relevant pieces of evidence in its possession and control. Evidence that may aid the special panel of prosecutors, which would include CCTV footages, ballistic and paraffin examination results, deployment records, communication logs, incident reports, witness statements, and other forensic and documentary evidence. Next, I would like to encourage crowdsourcing of evidence. For any available evidence which is verified or can be verifiable. Okay? Alam nyo naman, ang daming kumalat na video. Okay? You can submit it to our panel of prosecutors investigating this. And we will look at them so that we can get to the truth of the circumstances that led to the incident. Okay. This is an appeal to members of the media who were present at the Senate premises during the relevant period to submit videos, photos, and any other evidence that may deem useful to the panel. At this time, the investigation is ongoing. The department definitely will not prematurely assign liability or validate public claims until all evidence has been fully evaluated. We assure the public that a complete, transparent, and impartial investigation will be conducted. Okay, basically, ang ano po natin is the deadline I'm giving for the initial report for the law enforcement agencies, no? Particularly the NBI, the PNP, yung SPD, I think, kasama yung Pasay City Police District, and the NCRPO, to submit the report not later than 5 p.m. Wednesday next week. Okay? And also, this is a similar request to the Office of the Sergeant at Arms. We will course our request through the Office of the Senate President. In addition, on the arrest warrant issued by the ICC against Senator Bato de la Rosa, with this press briefing, I do confirm that there is a valid ICC arrest warrant and a pending request from ICC to serve the same has been duly received by the Philippines. Second, we do acknowledge the independence of the Senate as a co-equal branch of government. And as such, we do respect the sense of the Senate when they place Senator Bato de la Rosa under protective custody. And the Executive Department, through the Department of Justice, expects nothing less that upon resolution of all legal issues, and there's a petition and there are legal issues now pending before the Supreme Court, we will expect that the appropriate turnover will be made to the Department of Justice once all the legal issues have been resolved for his arrest. Next, the Department of Justice will treat any attempt of Senator Bato de la Rosa to leave the country as a mockery of justice. And I'm giving specific orders to law enforcement agents, to our border control authorities, that if Senator Bato de la Rosa would try to leave the country, that the appropriate arrest should be made. He is under the protective custody of the Senate, and we expect the appropriate turnover once all the legal issues have been resolved, the petition pending before the Supreme Court. Of course, we do acknowledge the Executive Department, through the Department of Justice, acknowledges the judiciary, the Supreme Court being the final arbiter of resolving all these issues. That's why I just met with the lawyers of the Office of the Solicitor General. The Office of the Solicitor General will comply with the requirement to submit its comment not later than 6:43 p.m. tomorrow. And pursuant to the order of the court, the other party is given another 72 hours to submit their reply on the comment, and I think that will hopefully will put a resolution on the matter. Next, mga kababayan ko, naliligaw din po tayo ng landas, no? Sa pagtingin po natin sa proseso. Dito po sa DOJ, ang pilit po nating ipinupunto, tingnan po natin din yung biktima. Tandaan po natin, itong arrest warrant ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, dahil may mga Pilipinong naghahanap ng katarungan. Dito po sa Department of Justice, pag may kinasuhan ho kami, kaya nga po people of the Philippines, di ba? Kakampi ng biktima, yung people of the Philippines. Inuusig natin. Tandaan po natin, sa mga nakalatag na ebidensya sa ICC, diba? May mga biktima po na naghahanap ng katarungan. Kaya nga po, sa kabila po, na may interplay po ng jurisdiction ng bawat ahensya, ang bawat co-equal branch, legislative, executive, at judiciary. Huwag po mawawala sa ating isipan na itong tinatawag pong EJ case, may mga biktima po. At hindi lang po iilan. May mga bata po. May mga bata po na hindi na ho makakapag-file ng writ of habeas corpus. May mga bata po, may mga biktima na hindi na ho makakatakbo, na hindi na ho makakapangatwiran. Kaya po, huwag po nating isasantabi. Nakakalungkot po yung mga naging insidente. Pero sa dulo po nito, ang katotohanan lamang naman po ang mamamayani. Kaya po itong ating panel na mag-iimbestiga, hinihikayat po namin kayo na mag-share kayo ng kaukulang impormasyon na meron kayo, something verifiable, no? Something verified, so that we can put people accountable kung meron nung may kasalanan. Diba? Pag ang ebidensya ay nagtuturo na panagutin ng ilang mga tao, pananagutin natin. Pag nagsasabi rin naman na walang kasalanan, exonerate natin. Ito po ang layunin nitong panel na to. At dito na lamang po muna ang aking statement at tatanggap po tayo ng mga katanungan. Polo?
Okay, Rolando.
Hi, Sec. Good afternoon. Orlando from Manila Standard. Sec, unang-una po, you've mentioned that you recognize that there is a valid warrant of arrest from the International Criminal Court issued against Senator Ronald De La Rosa. Sec, does the DOJ think that it should be crossed over through the local courts? As I recall that the NBI said in an interview on Tuesday that it can be bypassed because of the powers vested under the Philippine Center on Transnational Crime.
These are precise issues that the Supreme Court will pass upon. So I would just decline to answer. The government will be presenting its case to the Office of the Solicitor General. We should not, and we should respect the authority of the Supreme Court on this matter.
Second question, I guess you've also learned that Senator Ronald De La Rosa has fled the Senate, has left the Senate premises already, and nasabi niyo po kanina na he might, na kung sakaling nakaalis man po siya ng bansa ay pwede siyang arestuhin since he's no longer within the premises while he's in Senate custody. Will you also try to investigate Senator Robin Padilla's role, as some sources have already said that may kasabwat siya, kasangkot siya sa pag-alis ni Senator De La Rosa mula sa Senado? And will you file charges against him?
Ayaw kong pangunahan yung panel natin. Kaya nga po, ang nakapaloob dun sa panel natin, ay ang utos ko dun sa panel ay mag-imbestiga sa lahat ng pangyayari mula May 11 hanggang May 14. Pagkatapos ma-determine yung katotohanan, yung mga factual setting na verifiable, ayaw po nating magpangalan muna dahil kailangan pong gawin ng panel yung trabaho nila.
So it's fair to say that you will not comment on any plans to file obstruction of justice charges against Senator Padilla?
Any comment would be premature, so I won't give premature comments.
Last sec, I'd like to hear this from you. There are rumors swirling these past few days. Will you be replaced as the Justice Secretary? Can we confirm this, that you will stay as acting Justice Secretary?
We can ask Tweety Bird, my dear colleagues. Hindi ko rin ho kilala si Tweety Bird, where the source is coming from. And also, of course, we serve for the Filipino people. Your Secretary of Justice serves for the Filipino people. We serve at the pleasure of the President. And sa atin lang ho, marami pong utos sa inyong lingkod, kaya parang sa tingin ko ho, tuloy-tuloy ho. Any further statement is speculation on my part.
Okay, Ades.
That cannot be
If
categorical.
you could
diba?
kindly limit our
Yeah,
questions
thank
to
you.
the topics discussed, please. Mr. Rolando, no? One, and then Camille.
Hello, good afternoon, Secretary. Sinabi niyo po na once na magkaroon ng resolution yung mga petitions and motions ni Senator De La Rosa, umaasa kayo na ito-turn over siya ng maayos ng Senado. Ngayong wala na po sa Senado si Senator De La Rosa, and if lumabas po yung resolution, ano na yung magiging hakbang ng DOJ para po masiguro na makukuha si Senator De La Rosa at masaserve yung arrest warrant sa kanya?
Marami kaming pwedeng gawin. Pero ang una ko i-call, kasi nilagay siya sa protective custody ng Senate. So, ang pag na-resolve na lahat ng issue sa usaping legal, di ba? Ang tatanungin namin is, anong nangyari sa protective custody ng Senate?
Kahapon po nilift na po yung Senate protection custody ni Senator De La Rosa since wala na siya doon po sa premises ng Senado.
Okay. So, titingnan din namin ang epekto nun, di ba? Pag-aaralan natin lahat. Ang epekto nga nito, ang immediate effect nito, na wala na siya sa Senate premises. Di ba? Pero pag-aaralan pa rin namin, di ba?
Sir, ngayon po ba, alam niyo po kung nasaan ngayon si Senator De La Rosa? Natatrack niyo po ba kung ano po yung location niya ngayon para kung sakaling man mabilis at magiging maayos yung pagproseso ng pagsisilbi ng arrest warrant sa kanya?
There are units and actionable information that is available to the Republic.
Can you confirm, sir, na alam niyo po yung location?
There are information available to us to determine where he is.
Hi, sir. Good afternoon. Camille Samonte po from TV5. Is it safe to say, sir, that we're conducting a manhunt operation versus Senator Bato de la Rosa? Because you said that ang utos niyo po sa mga kapulisan, oras na makita si Senator Bato de la Rosa ay arestuhin para ma-implement itong ICC arrest warrant.
Correct. There's no such order. Okay, don't twist the facts. Ang sinabi ko, di ba, we respect the jurisdiction, the pending case in the Supreme Court. And based on the tenor, we ventilate all issues first with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court being the final arbiter of all these legal issues. We respect that. Second, we respect the sensitivities of the Senate as a co-equal branch. There's no order for manhunt. But we will treat any attempt to leave the country of the Philippines as an attempt to put a mockery in the justice system of the Philippines. So basically, the arrest is conditional. No? The order for his arrest. Okay? Paglalabas siya, teka, ibang usapan na yan.
So ano yun, sir? Kung nagtatago siya sa probinsya, hahayaan lang po siya hanggat hindi naglalabas ng desisyon ang Korte Suprema. Kumbaga status quo, sir.
Hindi po. Ang sinasabi natin, ang sunod na order po ng Supreme Court ay mag-file ng comment at yung kabilang panig na pasagutin din doon sa comment. Antayin po natin kung paano yung paggalaw ng kaso sa Supreme Court.
JP muna. Please use a mic.
Your instructions po na the arrest, the order for an arrest will only come if only lalabas siya ng bansa. On what grounds, again, just to clarify, on what grounds yung legal grounds, bakit aarestuhin siya pag lalabas ng bansa? He cannot leave the country because?
Because of the arrest warrant, we will definitely submit to the request of the ICC. What? Kasi we're hearing him out. Dito mga kapatid, no? Pakinggan niyo yung inyong DOJ. Pinapakinggan natin sila. Sitting senator si Senator Bato.
Opo.
Diba? Pero pag may attempt ka nang umalis sa Pilipinas, teka, ibang usapan na to. Diba? Iba ng usapan to. Diba? Nilarespeto natin ang mga karapatan ng isang nakaupong senador. Diba? Halal siya ng maraming Pilipino.
Yes,
diba? Pero yung pag nag-attempt ka, sa galagitnaan ng gantong sitwasyon, na lilipad ka o pupunta ka, teka, ibang usapan yan. Hindi naman namin pwedeng pabayaan yung obligasyon ng ating gobyerno. Diba? Na mapanagot siya. Kaakibat dito, tandaan natin, we have international commitments. Diba? Tulad ng, diba? 3 weeks ago, I think, nung nasa Prague ako.
Yes.
Diba? Similarly, ang expectation natin. Diba?
Opo.
Na tulad yung isang pugante o isang pinaghahanap ng batas na tulad ni former Congressman Saldico, di ba, frustrated tayong lahat eh. Di ba? Frustrated tayo. May ibang sasalubong nga sa inyo sa airport sa akin, nakala nyo kasama ko na eh. Pero frustrated tayo, pare-pareho tayong frustrated. Pero may prosesong lokal yung mga bansa sa European Union na kailangan din nating igalang. Di ba? Ganun lang yung ano.
So ICC po, yung legal grounds?
Yes.
Okay.
The ICC arrest warrant will be served upon him.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Justice Secretary. Jai Robledo po from Rappler. Just a clarification, when we say the warrant has been turned over to the Philippine government, are we referring to the PCTC, sir?
Yes, through the PCTC.
Okay. Second question, I know you just formed the prosecuting panel, but how are we treating those who helped Senator De La Rosa escape the Senate compound? I know that the investigation is, restricted within the shooting incident, but how about the escape? Because the ombudsman...
No, it's not limited to the shooting incident.
Okay.
But I give primacy kasi medyo nakakataka yun di ba? Bakit may nag-discharge ng firearm sa Senado?
Okay.
Diba? Nalagay sa peligro yung mga kababayan. Kayo mga news reporter, nalagay sa peligro. Ano pa yung isa mo sinabi kanina?
To clarify with...
To clarify. So,
yes, kasama
basically,
po.
and I don't want to put blames kaagad. Diba? That would be premature. So let's allow the panel to do their work. No? I think yung iba-ibang law enforcement agencies, meron na naman silang mga available na mga pira-piraso ng ebidensya. Ang i-request lang namin, isubmit na nila dito sa panel na to para mapagano. Kasi sa dulo nito, yung katotohanan kasi ay base sa datos at informasyon. So facts will determine the truth. And after we determine the truth, then we determine kung sino yung accountable, diba? Kung anong kaso yung pwedeng ikaso, at yung wala namang kaso, kasi ginamit mo na kanina yung term na escape Ayaw kong pangunahan, diba? Kasi escape is also a conclusion. Attack is also a term na conclusion, diba? Diba? So, ayaw nating pangunahan yung magiging conclusion ng ating panel.
And then, just a follow-up, Justice Secretary. So, in other words po, Interpol na po ba ang ka-operate po natin? Kasi nasa PCTC na po. Can we say that the ICC transmitted the warrant to the Interpol?
No. In this case, it's not the Interpol. It's ICC himself. Tandaan natin, yung ating PCTC is Philippine Center for Transnational Crime. So it's beyond what only is covered by the Interpol Treaty. It also covers itong ICC matters.
And just last question for me, very, very last, Justice Secretary. I know you're still waiting for the SC decision on the TRO, but so far the position of the Department of Justice is, well, we will follow the RA 9851, but we were still waiting for the SC decision. So doon po ba sa SC decision magde-decide if we will follow the surrender under IHL law or the extradition? Tama po ba ang aming understanding?
Ganito ang tamang understanding. Makikinig tayo kung ano sasabihin ng Supreme Court. Kasi yun lang po ang tama. Makinig tayo. Siya po ang inatasan ng ating saligang batas na maging final arbiter ng mga usapin na ganito. So makikinig tayo sa Supreme Court.
Tawag dito, whole departure order para kay Senator De La Rosa following your statement kanina?
I've issued an ILBO already for him. We've sent notices to our border control authorities, basically. So, in effect, if he will be cited or if he will be seen trying to flee the country, he will be arrested.
Kailan po nirelease yung ILBO?
It's outstanding. The timeline, I'm not sure. No? I'm not sure. But I've released already. I signed off on the ILBO already.
Okay, on the matter, one follow-up lang po. On the matter ng dun sa CCTVs na mention din kanina kasi ng OSA na parang wala daw pong copy ng CCTV. So ano pa po kaya yung ibang mga gagamitin nating pieces of evidence para dito?
Ayaw kong pangunahan yung panel Alam nyo naman Pero yung mga news reporter doon, ang daming nag-i-streaming nung nangyayari. So yung mga nananawagan ulit ako sa mga pwedeng makatulong doon sa investigasyon, bigyan nyo kami ng dagdag na recording tsaka ebidensya.
Okay, three more. Sure.
Sir, clarify ko lang yung kanina. You said that Solgen will be filing the required comment by tomorrow. So I assume it's electronic. It will be electronically filed. After the receipt, it will be De La Rosa's lawyers have 72 hours themselves. Starting from tomorrow, bambilang nun, sir. Bale, Tuesday, gano'n. Kung sakaling ma-file nila bukas.
My understanding, yes.
So by Tuesday, deadline na for De La Rosa's counsel to file the reply. If the Supreme Court does not issue any relief after the filing of the reply, would the government consider that that there's really no stumbling block to arrest him when found?
I don't want to speculate what I will decide on Tuesday, 6:45 p.m.
Sir, how about yung ano, sir, yung incident last Tuesday? Do you think, kasi the resolution made clear that the Supreme Court was reserving its right to subsequently issue relief requested by De La Rosa if the situation warrants. Under the circumstances, sir, that apparently it was the Senate, well, at first blush, it was the Senate officers who started the gunplay. Do you think it would substantiate further action from the Supreme Court ahead of the filing of the pleadings?
So I don't like to speculate yung...
But in your opinion, sir?
My opinion has no relevance here. We follow what the Supreme Court says.
So we will wait for the Supreme Court to... That's after Tuesday. Kung sakaling ma-file po bukas.
Kung meron or something, if...
Kung sakaling ma-file po bukas ng Solgen yung site.
mapapile nila. Pa-file nila within the time.
Tomorrow, sir, electronically.
They received the order 6:44 p.m. last Thursday. Thursday ba yan? So, basta they have until 6:43 tomorrow p.m. to submit it.
Sir, Ombudsman Remulla has made harsh a statement saying that Senator De La Rosa's flight should be construed as evidence of guilt. Basically said flight is evidence of guilt in that context. Would you share the same opinion?
Again, my opinion will not matter and will only add to the confusion, so I'd rather not.
So do you agree with Ombudsman Remulla or not in that position?
I agree with him on many matters, but I would rather not give an opinion on that matter.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll call the last two to saw raise their hands. Granted and Joe.
Sir, magandang hapon po,
Magandang
Grant
hapon.
Hilario from
Yes,
Bombo
magandang
Radio.
hapon.
Sir, kanina po nabanggit niyo po na kapag ka nagtangka po si Senador Bato de la Rosa na lumabas ng bansa ay aarestuhin niyo po. Ang sistema po ba nito ay saan niyo po siya dadalhin o saan kustodiya po dadalhin o idediretso po natin sa ICC sa Netherlands?
Okay. Wala pa pong ganong desisyon, pero siyempre isinasaalang-alang natin kung ano yung nakasalang sa Korte Suprema na kaso. So sa ngayon po, ayaw ko mag-speculate kung ano po yung kaso.
Sir, and you mentioned kanina po na ILBO po ang in-issue po natin laban kay Senador De La Rosa. And we know that ILBO is not to prohibit a person na makaalis ng bansa. Sir, hindi po ba kulang yung ILBO para hindi makaalis ng bansa si Senador?
Pero kasi yung whole departure order versus ILBO, di ba? Korte nag-i-issue nun, ILBO. Pero pag na-hold na siya sa immigration, based on the ILBO, our immigration authorities will already contact our law enforcement agents. Aarestuhin na siya.
Okay. Last sir, kanina po si Ombudsman Remulla ay pinatawa ng preventive suspension si Sergeant at Arms Mau Aplasca. Sir, kanina din po si Senate President Alan Cayetano ay sinasabi na kung sinuspende ito si Aplasca ay dapat din suspendihin si Attorney Matibag na NBI. Ang DOJ po ba as attached agency ang NBI, do we consider to issue a preventive suspension kay NBI Director to protect the integrity of the evidence po sa nangyari?
I don't see any reason issuing any preventive suspension. First, no, it's not for the Secretary of Justice. It's not within my authority to do that over Director Melvin Matibag. Second, I don't see any reason why Director Melvin Matibag will be suspended or preventively suspended given the current circumstances.
Last sir, baka may message po kayo kay Senador De La Rosa po.
Yan actually, no? Kung gugustuhin ni Senator Bato De La Rosa to be under the protective custody of the DOJ would be more than willing to make arrangements with him para hindi na, di ba? Total, pare-pareho naman, di ba? Siya ay halal na senador ng bayan, di ba? May obligasyon siya sa kaharap ng ano. May mga abogado naman siya na mapoproteksyonan yung kanyang mga karapatan. Dito sa Department of Justice, di ba? Ginagalang namin ang kanyang karapatan, no? Ginagalang natin ang magiging desisyon ng Supreme Court. So, para wala na ring confusion, tandaan nyo ho, Ang nakakadagdag sa confusion, di ba, yung misinformation. No? Kaya kayo nasa sa media, tulungan nyo rin kami. Correct natin, no? Kaya nga itong fact-finding, malaking bagay, mga kababayan ko. The only thing that will set us free on this is finding out the truth kung ano nangyari from May 11 to May 14.
Hi, sir. Sir, can the people who helped Senator De La Rosa be held liable for obstruction of justice?
I don't want to preempt yung decision. No?
Pero sir, yung mismong pagtulong po, sir, and may valid ICC arrest warrant po siya, hindi po ba yun?
Again, I don't want to preempt yung ano. Diba? Kasi remember, I'm the Secretary of Justice. No? The panel of prosecutors are under me. And there are legal remedies available for anyone, diba? Na mapailan ng kaso ng mga piskal kay Secretary of Justice. Ayaw ko i-preempt, diba? Huwag na natin i-preempt. Kasi yan ang nakakadagdag sa kalituhan.
Sir, considering hindi po natin alam yung exact location po ni Senator De La Rosa ngayon, can he be considered a fugitive from justice?
Technical term yan. So let's leave it at that, no? It's a very technical term under the legal processes.
Okay. Okay, sir, next question naman po. Yung hiling niyo po kanina is for the Senate to turn him over once the legal matters are resolved. Ano naman po ang next step ng DOJ if hindi po siya i-turn over ng Senate, considering they've been very protective of him these past few days?
Again, I don't want to preempt or to telegraph the moves of the Department of Justice on this matter.
Okay, ganito po.
Sir, sorry,
Okay na, Jo.
few more questions, sir.
One more. Let me ask one more from you.
Ano naman po, sir, gaano po tayo katagal maghihintay ng decision po ng Supreme Court? Kasi yung petition po ni former President Duterte and ni Senator Bato, it's been 14 months, sir, and wala pa din pong decision. So, until when are we going to wait po?
I don't want to preempt also. Let's wait for further developments on that.
Thank you, Jo. Ito, sir. One question. Can you limit it to one? After sir, there.
May isa pa.
Hi, Secretary.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, Sir. Tristan from Newswatch Plus. Sir, we just want to understand anong pagkakaiba nitong enforcement ng ICC arrest warrant kay Senator De La Rosa at kay former President Rodrigo Duterte. Because right now, syempre po iba yung nangyayari as compared to the expectation of the public na same route yung nung nangyari kay former President Duterte. So just help us understand, sir, on anong difference nitong dalawang scenario.
Nitong mga nakalipas na araw at linggo, ang dami pong law expert na lumabas, no? Marami tayong nababasa, di ba? Pero pag tiningnan po natin kasi, yung to the extent that we will not touch on the pending matter in the Supreme Court, may dalawa po kasi pwedeng daanan, di ba? Yung isa, di ba, yung ICC, in-invoke niya yung pagiging member din ng Interpol. So, nakiusap siya sa Interpol, di ba? Tulungan niyo naman kami mag-serve nito. Di ba? At ang isang bansa, tulad ng Pilipinas na membro ng Interpol, may commitment sa Interpol. Di ba? So, ang sinasabi rin ng batas, pag sinerve yung diffusion or yung red notice, di ba? Sa isang domestic state, karapatan, halimbawa dito, Pilipinas, karapatan ng Pilipinas na timbangin kung ano ang balor ng red notice o yung diffusion. At ang pwede niyang desisyon, isurrender. Ha? May isa ring paraan. Ito, yung mga kaso laban sa crimes against humanity for murder. Diba? Itong IHL, diba? International Humanitarian Law. RA 9851, diba? Na ang nagdidinig ay ang ICC. Diba? Meron din pamamaraan. Sinasabi din, tinuruan din tayo ng na ang Pilipinas ay nag-withdraw officially dun sa kaso yung sa Enre Pangilinan, I think it's a Supreme Court case, na sinasabi, as of March 17, 2019, wala na ang Pilipinas. Pero, sa lahat ng aksyon o krimen na ginawa bago mag-March 17, 2019, covered pa rin. At lahat ng incidents na usapin tungkol doon ay nasasaklaw pa rin ng usapin ng ICC. At dalawa ang tulak kasi. Kailangan may inisyong arrest warrant ang ICC at may request ang ICC. At sinasabi ko sa inyo, sa kasalukuyan, may inisyu silang arrest warrant at meron silang request na iserve natin. Anong ginagawa ngayon Department of Justice? Dahil nga sa kakaibang sitwasyon. Ano yung sitwasyon? Sitting senator si Senator Bato. Diba? Tapos may pending Supreme Court decision. Ayaw naman natin pangunahan ng Supreme Court. Diba? Kaya ang sinabi ng DOJ, diba, sa kabila na merong arrest warrant at may request ng ICC, teka muna. Diba? Kasi timbangin natin, diba, ayaw nating mabaliwala yung pending case. Diba? Ayaw din nating sansalain yung sensitivities ng Senado. Okay. Pero ang tulad ng sinabi ko, kung siya naman ay magtatangkan lumabas ng Pilipinas, teka, ibang usapan yan. Diba? Kaya po gano'n ang kautusan ng inyong Secretary of Justice. Okay, maliwanag na maliwanag yan. Tingin ko ho, para ho mawala yung chaos, mawala yung kalituhan, at sana po kumapit lang tayo dun sa factual, no? Magtulungan nyo rin kami, mag-fact check, no? Kasi yun ho, nagdadala ng kalituhan. Okay? So, muli po, last one, ha? May...
Yes, sir. With your indulgence po. Dante Amento of UNTV. Sir, yun nga po, issue ngayon yung presence ng mga NBI doon na armado. Nakipag-coordinate po ba sa inyo si NBI Director Matibag? Alam niyo po ba yung deployment ng NBI sa GSIS? And even on Monday, armado yung NBI sa labas ng Senado. Yun po, sir. Mayroon bang proper coordination? Alam niyo ba itong galaw ni Attorney Matibag?
Yes. Yes. Okay? Okay na, ha? Maraming salamat po. Magandang hapon sa inyo. Thank you.
Okay, Acting Justice Secretary Frederick Vida speaking to the press. Medyo mahaba-haba ang kanyang ano yung takeaways mo? Manimog, send na aming pamintuan. Your takeaways.
Mas gusto ko sana yung mahaba-haba na Manimog ito eh.
May ilbo.
Aantayin yung Supreme Court na mag-decide. No?
Oo nga, baka ayaw ko magsalita, baka ma-preempt ko.
Yun nga lang yun, mag-aantay sila sa Supreme Court bago sila umaksyon, no?
Pero, Mogs, it's more a courtesy eh. Ibig sabihin, walang illegal impediment na i-implement na nila yung warrant ngayon.
Alam mo kung yung impeachment court nag-intay ng TRO ng Supreme Court. Hindi natuloy yung impeachment. Hindi nila inantay.
Courtesy yun. It's more courtesy than
mataas
illegal
pa yung
hindrance.
involved doon, Vice President.
But maybe he should have emphasized that. Kasi
tinuloy nila yung ano.
Wala ako sa press con. gusto mo, pumunta ako sa press.
Kasi it was just a bit confusing kasi I think a very valid din question na yes, there's a pending case before the Supreme Court. It's actually a certiorari with prohibition with an urgent prayer for a TRO.
Hindi binigay eh.
Oo, hindi binigay ang TRO. Instead, they were asked to
the government from doing
they were asked to respond.
What is supposed to do?
3 days. Ang magic question which hindi niya sinagot is, paano nga kung hindi maglabas ng TRO o hindi maglabas ng decision kagad ng Supreme Court?
14 months.
Kasi there's nothing that orders the Supreme Court to make a decision anytime soon.
Yes.
It can take 6 days, it can take 6 months.
Kaya naman sabi ko, kung ginawa ng House din yon na naghintay ng TRO, wala tayong impeachment ngayon.
Unless, Ami, mas kanyan for public consumption. We will respect the Supreme Court. Pero sabi rin niya,
yung House, they were handling a case involving the Vice President.
Pero
Senador. Tapos ayaw mong arestuhin yung Bakit nila inaresto yung sinuspindi yung si OSA? Pero yung driver ng NBI na volunteers, kinulong. Bakit? Dahil driver.
Yes. Ang tingin ko, Ami, is more for public consumption. Irerespeto namin yung Supreme Court, maghihintay kami. Pero kung lalabas siya, mag-a-attempt siyang lalabas, huhulihin namin siya. Anong ibig sabihin nun?
Mabuti kung makita nila yung
Hindi,
lalabas.
hindi. Anong ibig sabihin
Dami-dami
nun?
na lumabas dito,
Hindi.
hindi nakita.
Ang sasabi ko lang, Ami, walang legal impediment. Yun yung inamin nila.
Yeah, nothing is stopping them.
Nothing is stopping them from arresting Bato, whether matapos o hindi yung Supreme Court. Yun lang yung sinasabi
At saka
ko.
yung sinasabi niya na nasa protective custody ng Senate, dilinaw na yun kahapon ni Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano, hindi daw
Wala na.
nagpaalam sa kanya nung umalis, he is no longer under Senate protective custody.
wala na.
Sinabi yun kahapon.
Yes, mukhang ang...
Tapos sinabi niya, he's on his own. Sinabi yun kahapon ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano.
Again, ang message doon ay doon sa nag-protective custody na meron silang liability. Kinuha nyo under protective custody tapos pinakawalan nyo. Parang yun yung message eh.
Pero baka nga, I get what you're saying na it's a matter of courtesy lang itong puntong ito. Pero maybe that should have been emphasized more kasi as it is now, alam mo, if over the weekend or next week, for some reason, hulihin si Bato, ibabalik sa kanya yung presko niya na ito.
Babaan mo ng konti yung standards mo.
Ikaw talaga. Pero, you know what I mean? Ibabalik sa kanya yung presko na ito na, teka, sabi mo ano? Iintayin mo yung
ganito ang aking
desisyon.
Ganito ang aking ibig sabihin. Di ba?
I say that kasi, for example, he kept saying na they will wait for all legal issues to be resolved. When you say kasi
Baka patay na ako bago mangyari yan.
Correct.
Diba? All legal issues, you have certiorari, you have prohibition, you have urgent prayer for TRO.
Pero at the same time, sinabi niya, in the same breath, sinabi niya, pwede namin siyang hulihin. Pag nag-attempt siyang
Hindi,
lumabas.
sa valid
But yeah,
arrest warrant.
it does appear to have a contradiction in
Yung
that same
ICC
breath.
warrant. Oh.
Valid.
The warrant
You have to
is
be
valid,
consistent
pero
about your position.
hintayin namin yung Supreme Court.
But you see the point of confusion.
Oo nga. Oo.
Di
Kaya
ba
sabi-
kailangan din, Ronald, dyan messaging na no one is above the law?
Oo. Tama.
Lalo sa ganyang multiple murder yan, sa crime against humanity. Di naman yan, ordinaryo lang na pickpocketing or something.
Magkuhan tayo sa kanya, Ami, mag-workshop.
Ito, they expect the
Alam mo,
appropriate turnover to
nirekomenda
the
na ng
DOJ.
isang istorya ngayon. Sinabi na ng NBI si Melvin Matibag, sinabi din niya na hindi niya sususpindin si Melvin Matibag, Pero sinabi kanina ni Melvin Matibag, si Robin Hood Padilla daw, person of interest, quote-unquote, sa pag-alis ni Senator Bato from the Senate.
Dahil meron kang standing warrant eh. No? Tapos tinulungan mo yung may standing warrant na tumakas. Ang paliwanag dyan ni Alan
Di daw
Peter...
tumakas, umalis. Kayo talaga, you're sure,
umalis.
in the technical and legal sense, umalis.
Ang paliwanag ni Alan Peter, wala namang warrant eh. So anong mali ron? Kahit umalis siya,
Yan
kahit
ang mali
tinulungan, di ba?
Hindi, dapat ang sinabi ni Alan Peter nung umalis, sinabi kasi ni President Marcos, hindi aarestuhin. Yun, tama yun.
Oo.
So, pag sinabi ng Presidente, hindi ka arestuhin, di umalis ka. Wala yun.
Hindi, pero...
Diba? Tama yun.
Pero ang presumption kasi nung nung hindi ka aarestuhin, nasa protective custody ka ng Senado. Yun yung
Kaso nga,
complication
nagsalita na siya kahapon.
Yun
Wala
yung
na silang protective It ends the protective custody. Pag-alis niya kahapon para pumunta sa Burger King.
So dalawa ang tinitira mo. Dalawa ang tinitira mo. Yung nagbigay ng protective custody at yung nasa protective custody na lumabas. No? Yun yung tinitira mo. Parang pwedeng sabihin ng presidente, hindi ko naman siya second guess, nung sinabi ko na hindi siya i-arrestuhin dahil nasa protective custody siya. Ngayong wala na siya sa protective custody
ng Senado.
Ngayong wala na siya sa protective custody ng Senado, pwede na. Pero hindi niya sasabihin yon kaagad para ma-confuse yung huhulihin.
Sabagay, confused na nga tayo eh. Sige, we are sufficiently confused.
Hindi, si Manny Mugato, hindi yan ako confused.
Kailangan mo lang
Maliwanag
gisingin.
naman na pag nasa loob siya ng Senado,
Di siya arrestuhin.
paglabas niya, fair game na yan.
Pwede na.
Hindi, paglabas lang ng Pilipinas, ha?
Pwede na.
Hindi paglabas
That's also
niya.
a point
He
of
can actually
confusion
go
for me.
anywhere dito sa Pilipinas. Paglabas lang ng Pilipinas.
Hindi, Ami. Ang sinasabi lang, pag mag-attempt siya na lumabas, huhulihin namin siya. Pero hindi nila sinabi na hindi siya huhulihin bukas kung nakita sa SM Mega Mall. No?
Hindi siya huhulihin kasi mag-iintay pa nung ano, baka kayo baka
All
ma-preempt
legal
yung
issues to be
Supreme Court. Kayo
resolved.
naman, naka-20 salita yata na baka ma-preempt yung Supreme Court. Hindi pa sa arrest.
Pustahan, no?
Pwede rin-
Which is
pwede
why-
para
pustahan,
protective force din ng DOJ.
Pustahan, no? Kung lumabas yung ulo ni Bato, no? Na madaling ma-identify. Kung lumabas yung ulo niya sa SM, huhulihin siya. Pustahan.
Kita mo, ha?
Oo.
We are all sufficiently confused.
But yun nga, that's
Hintay
run
na lang kayo sa
counter.
Supreme Court.
Tapos,
i-preempt
That
ako
is
sa
run counter to
Supreme
what he
Court.
just said.
Ano ngayon kung counter? Wala namang hindrance sa hulihin nila.
That's my other question.
Yun yung punto ko eh. Wala namang
I know.
hindrance.
But that was my other question eh.
Sabihin lang niya,
In announcing-
nagbago yung utos eh.
In announcing that they're giving due courtesy to the Senate and all that, but also announcing that it's a valid arrest warrant from the ICC, wouldn't that be, I don't know what the term would be, dereliction of duty? Kasi does the President have
Wala
the
namang
authority
TRO eh.
to defer or delay the implementation of what it calls a valid arrest warrant?
Pwede
Saka
mo naman.
wala sa batas natin na kailangan mo
Pwede
magbigay
mo
ng
namang
courtesy
sabihin,
to any,
hindi namin siya mahanap
any
eh.
person covered by an arrest
Hindi
warrant.
hindi namin
Ano
siya
ba yun?
mahanap eh. Mahanap lang namin siya kung lalabas siya ng airport.
No?
Parang ganun.
Pinirade yung NBI sa
Bawal yun.
Laguna.
Si Mogs may sinasabi.
Ano, Mogs?
Pinirade yung NBI sa Laguna kasi nandun daw si Bato sa isang poultry farm.
Kailan?
Ngayon lang.
Kahapon. Na sabi, may info na nasa Laguna. No? So, pinuntahan ng NBI.
Ibig sabihin, hinahunting pa rin siya.
Talagang hinahanap siya.
Hinahanap siya kahit publicly ay we will pay due courtesy to the Supreme Court. Diba?
Sige.
Sana sila
Kayo,
sa
mga
press code
media
kung
talaga kayo, kasalanan yan, daldal eh.
Bibigyan nga namin ng workshop ni Ami eh. Paano gumawa ng press con?
Sana hindi lang siya nag-press con, di ba? Kung gano'n.
Oo nga, dapat dinala ng-press con.
Di ba sabi ko nga,
Pag
babaan
hindi
mo
naman
yung...
nag-press con, gagalit kayo, sabihin nyo.
That or limit his
Kayo
press
talaga.
con to the formation of the
Hindi pa naman siya mahilig bang press con, Ami, di ba? Di ba,
Kaya nga,
very rare yan mag-press
kinukulit
con.
eh. Kasalanan nyo yan, hingi kayo nang hingi ng press con.
Tapos nung nag-press con, binabanatan nyo.
Oo
Parang
nga.
si Bato
Sige na,
nagtatanong.
hindi na. I don't want to preempt the court.
Sinabi ko lang ang babaan ng standards eh. No?
Okay, I give up. All these things on the table and
Yun ang problema pag may,
It's really confusing.
pag may katabi kang learned eh.
but you get what I mean, di ba?
Oo nga.
All the mixed signals, the mixed messaging.
Alam mo sa dulo, mahalaga dyan yung output.
The output hasn't been very impressive either anyway.
Oo nga. Kaya nga kung hindi nila mahuhuli si Bato, kahit anong sabihin mo, mababanatan ka. Ngayon, kung mahuli mo si Bato mamaya o bukas, kahit anong confusion yan, tapos yan.
People will forget the confusion.
People will forget the nuancing, di ba?
I get you.
Saka ano yan, sabihin ng Supreme Court, moot na.
Oo nga.
Kahit
Dapat hindi pupunta sa beach si Bato. Kasi pwedeng sabihin, trying to get out of the country.
Sa beach ba? Baka tatawid ng yacht, no? Baka may yate doon sa ano.
Actually,
pareho ni Alice Go.
Alice Go.
Actually,
Alice Go, nakayate yun eh.
Actually, ang tingin ko doon sa press con, it's more...
Confuse the enemy. Confuse na tayo eh.
It's more to sow confusion. Ang problema,
Wittingly or unwittingly?
pati tayo na confused. Hindi kasi kung wittingly kasi, ibig sabihin mo talino ka.
Then he has this smirk on
Di
his
galing
face.
ang galing ng press con, it achieved the purpose.
Need I say more?
With that smirk on your face, you don't.
Hindi na yung magpapapress con,
Basta
hindi kayo
nakita-
manghingi ng
Hindi.
press con. Nung pinagbigyan kayo, ganyan kayo.
Oo nga, sabi nga ni Bato, hanap kayo ng hanap sa akin. Ngayon,
Kung wala ako
nandito-
dito, hinahanap niyo ako.
Nung
Kung
nandito
nandito ako,
ako,
nagtatanong ba't nandito ako?
Oo. Ano ba kayo?
Kaya nga. Kaya nga. At chichismisin na lang kita, Ronald.
Ano?
Kasi malakas pa rin yung ugong doon kaya yung cabinet revamp. Involving Vida. Sinagot naman niya, di ba? Sinagot
Oo
niya.
nga, nagtanong nga pala. No?
We serve at the pleasure of the President.
Nagtanong.
Hindi, we serve at the pleasure of
Upo
the
ka pa ba
country.
dyan?
Yun ang una yung sinabi. Tapos, actually, yung country, hindi naman yung nag-appoint sa iyo eh.
Oo nga.
Diba?
Oo nga.
Oh, thank
Hindi,
God
may
it's a
nag-endorse
Friday.
ikaw naman. Yung appointing powers the President.
Yes. Ako, hindi ko sasabihin niyo kung nasa cabinet ako, I serve at the pleasure of the country.
Saka acting ang status niya, he's acting.
Yeah, he's acting pa rin.
Di pa siya confirmed. Or ewan ko kung ninominate na siya sa sa Commission on Appointments. Di ba isa sa mga reklamo yan ng mga ng Commission on Appointments?
Siyam.
Ang dami-daming cabinet na
Siyam.
hindi dinadala sa amin.
Siyam. Siyam yung nakatenga ron. Siyam.
Hindi nakatenga, hindi talaga dinadala sa kanila.
So, let's look for the glass half full. Biyernes na.
Inuulit ko, kung hindi...
Yun na yung glass half full
Oo,
natin.
inuulit ko, in spite of all this confusion, kung hindi mahuhuli si Bato na nakatakas habang pinapaligiran nila ang Senado, ang samang image niyan para sa gobyerno. So they have to do everything para mahuli siya. No? Kahit pagpalagay mo na 3 days, kung mahuli siya bukas, hindi na mga issue na yun eh. Wala na magtatanong nun eh. Ang mangyayari sa headline ng Philippine Star, nahuli si Bato. Wala na, nakalimutan na yung press con ni DOJ Secretary.
Forget
na yun.
No, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
Ang lalabas lang is nahuli si Bato.
And I suppose it also makes it easier for them na wala na siya sa Senado. Because his being in the Senate complicates everything immensely.
Malay mo pumunta lang. Malay lang to malay lang. Hindi ko sinasabi ito talaga nangyari. Malay mo pumunta lang talaga siya ron para bumoto. Tapos ang sabi yung nag-imbita sa kanya,
Na si
bumoto siya, ang sabi sa kanya, pagkaboto mo, pwede ka nang umalis.
Until
Kaya lang,
kakailangan
hindi
ng boto
nakaalis
niyo ulit.
kagad.
Ay, hindi na,
nasabit
mahirapan
pa.
eh.
Kaya tatanong ko si Manny Mogato. Manny, bigyan mo naman kaming briefing tungkol kay Mon Aplaska. Although may alam na akong konting background niya, baka kilala mo siya personally.
Actually, yan yung topic ni Mogs, kaya siya nandyan eh.
Ni Bato?
Hindi na tayo mag-break, tuloy-tuloy na.
I want to tuloy na. Go na, go na, go na.
Sige, tuloy mo na, Mogs. Gawin mo na yung dahilan kung bakit ka nandito.
Mag-classmate sila ni Bato at parehong taga Davao, no? Kaya lang na-delay
At Davao din siya.
Davao de Oro ata siya.
Kaya lang na-delay siya ng graduation.
Isang taon.
1 year.
Graduate siya 1987 na kasi siguro nagka-problema sa klase, sa PMA, kaya hindi sila sabay, no?
Hindi naman bumagsak. Hindi
Pero
siya bagsak.
nung naging chief PNP si Bato, ginawa siyang regional director sa Region 4A. Tsaka sa
Calabarzon.
No?
Kwan yun.
talagang
magandang posisyon yun. Region 4A.
Magkalapit sila, no? Dahil sabi nga ni Bato, hindi siya marunong magtagalog nung sa PMA, pareho silang Bisaya ni Mao Plaska.
Kaya may banding. May banding sila.
May banding. Kaya naman si Bato mismo nag-nominate kay Aplaska na maging acting Sergeant at Arms nung nag-resign si Samonte. Yan.
Pero dati siyang house, diba?
Dati
siya nag-house Sergeant at Arms?
Nung panahon ni Cheese Escudero, naging Sergeant at Arms. Kaya lang nung napalatan si Cheese, napalatan din siya.
Pero nung kay Alan Peter, di ba naging Sergeant at Arms din siya?
Oo, nung congressman si Alan Peter.
Congressman.
Nung speaker si Alan.
Nung speaker si Alan, naging Sergeant at Arms siya.
Siya yung Sergeant at Arms.
Kaya close din siya kay Alan.
Talagang malapit na malapit. Kaya Alan Peter at kay Bato. Yan.
Paano siya napalapit kay Alan Peter?
Aba, Davao Davao Group Di ba? So,
So, Duterte Group talaga siya.
Oo, Davao Group talaga yan. Oo. So, dati rin ano yan, operations chief ng PNP, no? Kaya nga hindi ko alam, sabi niya, hindi niya alam yung manual ng PNP doon sa
Barel.
paraan mo.
Warning shot,
Oo. Sila gumawa nun
Oh.
So, but Bogs, that also makes you wonder bakit parang hindi niya alam? But why, and that's a significant portion of the PNP POP 3 manual.
Alam mo, narinig ko yung interview niya kay kay Ted Paidon, sabi niya, ay, sorry, hindi na ako PNP Yun ang excuse niya.
Kaya hindi na niya alam.
Pero Mogs, nagalit siya doon sa interview niya, di ba?
Oo.
Nagalit siya ron. Medyo nagbalistik din siya.
Kasi namiminipit Hindi niya explain Kunyari, hindi niya explain bakit niya pinaputokan yung NBI. Diba? Alam mo, NBI yung kausap niya. Ba't niya pinaputokan?
Law enforcer yon. Bawal yon.
Oo. O sabi nga, kaya nga nagalit si Ombudsman Boying Rimula. Sabi niya, unacceptable daw na paputokan mo isang law enforcement. Sabi niya.
Yeah. Assault on a
person of authority.
Person in authority.
The thing is that
saka may rules ang warning shot. Hindi pa pwedeng paputok na pasabihin mo lang warning shot. May rules yun.
Sa pelikula lang yung ganun
Oo. Sa pelikula lang yung warning shot. Dahil meron kang tatamaan na kisame, tapos maraming media
lalo na
nandun.
ganyan. It's all
what goes up
concrete.
must come down
Concrete Pwedeng tumalisik yung bala
into the air.
Oo. Kaya mahirap yung... Tsaka ba't ang daming warning shot? By 38 bullet holes. Ang dami namang warning shot.
Mas marami silang putok.
Oo nga.
30 nga daw, 30.
Kaya nga, under attack daw yung Senate building, sabi ni...
Nung sariling insecurity.
Oo.
But I think, what's also interesting is that he admitted in several of the interviews na he was aware that the NBI was trying to get in. Kasi he said na that was the report that he was getting na yung NBI pumapasok na.
Ba't mo babarilin?
Kaya nga So in that case, they were well aware that these were not terrorists or these were not robbers.
Yeah.
This was actually a law enforcement agency.
Yes.
OSA, like it or not, OSA is basically...
They are not law enforcers.
Senate security lang yan.
Yes.
I don't want to put it in such a...
Yeah, you cannot resist the law enforcement team.
Nakita mo ba gano'n sila karami, Ed? Yan, may Marines pa, may police, may security, no? Ang nandun sa kabilang pinto, 3 o 5 NBI lang. May kasama pang security guard.
Oo.
No? So, mas marami sila. So, hindi na kailangan yung force na...
Yes. At saka Mogs, ang may letter si Veloso yung general manager ng GSIS requesting na pumunta ron yung NBI. It was an official request.
Bok, teka, kailangan natin mag-gap muna. Mag-gap muna tayo dahil may guest tayong papasok. So we need to take a gap. You're watching Storycon One News. We will be right back.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.
We've got developing news and the stories behind the headlines. Welcome back to Storycon, the Story Conference. I'm Ed Lingao, and of course, with us in the studio, our resident political plotter, Mr. Raul Llamas. On Zoom, Philippine Star Editor-in-Chief, I'm Pamintuan, and One News Defense Editor, Mr. Manuel Mugato, ang ating shopperman. And let's also bring in Octa Research President, Ranjit Rai. Dr. Rai, Professor Rai, good afternoon and welcome back.
Good afternoon, Professor Rai.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Hi, Professor.
We live in interesting times, ha?
Very, very interesting
Ay, naku,
times.
unfortunately.
Kaya nga hindi matuloy-tuloy yung guesting namin sa iyo. Ang dami nangyayari.
Exciting times.
Natatapunan.
Oo.
Oh, let's start off with that muna. Yung, you had a recent survey where you had tandems on the survey sheet, and then well, give us a long and short of it, particularly yung dalawang tandem na markadong-markado.
Okay, so this was the first time we're releasing tandems. Why? Because it's non-commissioned. These are tandems that were tested last March 19 to 25, first quarter. So for the first time, what are the key takeaways? For the first time, Octa's comparable, at least in Octa's comparable tandem surveys, a Robredo-led tandem has numerically overtaken a Duterte-Marcos alignment. So the numbers are there. It's flashed on the screen. 44% for Robredo-Tulfo, Robredo being the president, no, in this hypothetical contest, versus a Sara Duterte-Ivy Marcos tandem. So I think that the central takeaway, I think, is that when you look at these numbers and the numbers we've released over the last few weeks, the 2028 electoral landscape seems no longer to be one-sided. And we have to pose this caveat. This is not predictive. This is just a hypothetical contest. We don't know if it's going to actually happen. But it's important to note that trends, not the final numbers, but the trends have been changing over the last few weeks. And while the number is nominal, 44% versus 40%, I think the granular data is, quite dramatic, no? Yeah.
Pero sir, how do you choose a tandem? Kasi siyempre, yan ang unang titingnan ng mga tao. Bakit yun ang pinares nyo kay ganon? Like for example, si Amy, nakapares kay VP Sara. And there are also Duterte supporters who are not that comfortable with Amy. So baka may ganun mga tanong.
Yeah, tinanong ko yung kanina.
Yeah. I think the first method we use is really the preference survey. So we get the top 5 most preferred candidates for president and vice president, and then we pair them. So in this particular survey, you're seeing just one probe. We have simulations of other presidential and vice presidential tandems. So why we're showing this, because it's the first time. So Ed, to answer your question, the average gap between a Robredo-Tulfo tandem versus a Duterte-Marcos tandem was around 15 to 25 points. Never na mang yung tandem na yan, except in the first quarter of 2026. And hindi lang, dramatic yung changes, no? When you look at the spread, it looks like Balance Luzon and NCR moving towards, are likely to move towards the opposition. They're not part of the once stronghold of the Dutertes, no? The Dutertes remain viable in Mindanao and in Central Visayas when you look at the basic data. But it looks like Visayas in general will be the battleground. It's close there. But when you look at Balance Luzon, guys, at saka NCR, tambak na ang tandem ng Sara Duterte at saka Ivy Marcos doon, no? So again, hypothetical to. Just to emphasize, no? When you look at Balance Luzon, 57% is for Robredo Tulfo. For Duterte Marcos, it's 23%. The spread, the difference is 34 percentage points. Ang laki. Pagdating sa NCR, which used to be neutral, guys, used to be neutral and strongly leaning towards Duterte, it's now Robredo County. Robredo Tulfo at 61%, Duterte Marcos 23%. The margin is plus 38%. So, we're seeing, let's not focus on the numbers, let's focus on the trends. NCR and Balance Luzon is moving towards a different direction. And
Pero Professor, tinanong ko na nga kanina, hindi kaya Tulfo effect yung na kay Robredo? Alam naman natin kung gaano kalakas yung Tulfo brand
Malakas ang
especially
Tulfo
Metro
brand.
Manila.
Yeah,
Pero
malakas ang Tulfo brand, lalo sa Balance Luzon and Metro Manila.
Pero di ba, Prof,
but it's consistent with what we showed last week, that Balance Luzon is leaning towards Lenny, NCR is towards Lenny. And when we use this tandem, it's just consolidated. I mean, the gap became much larger. And of course, the Tulfo brand helped in Visayas.
Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, Prof, dati lang mataas ang Tulfo eh. Ang kaibahan kay Lenny, dati siyang mababa.
Yes.
Kung titignan mo yung,
tama yun.
kung titignan mo yung movement of
very basic
numbers.
na difference, no?
Yeah, kung titignan mo yung movement of
talagang,
numbers.
nagkaroon tayo ng ganitong klaseng effect, no? And last year, when you paired this with all the other tandems, laging tambak. So Robredo Tulfo, laging tambak yan sa Duterte Marcos. Walang time in the 4 quarters na nag-lead yan or that naglapit yan. Suddenly, the trends have changed and preferences have changed also.
Ang tanong ko, Prof, paano niyo pinili yung tandem? Bakit hindi Amy Marcoleta? Bakit hindi Lenny?
Sara Robin.
Lenny.
Pero kami,
malakas din si Robin.
Diba?
Malakas ho. Yeah, you're
Bakit,
right.
How did you choose?
Okay, so we I was trying to explain. We looked at the most preferred presidential candidate, presidential hopefuls for 2028, and then we paired them. So expect na meron kaming pairing for Robredo and some other candidates. But we chose to release this because this was the most dramatic for us. Now, when you flip the pairing, Tulfo, Robredo, it isn't as dramatic as these numbers. So you can already guess, no? Na hindi ganun kataas, hindi lumalamang. Pero competitive yung number. So we use Erwin Tulfo. It's also competitive, but it isn't. This is the first tandem to actually, go ahead of. Or be ahead, numerically overtake the Duterte Marcos tandem. Now, yes, we also have a tandem for Duterte Robin Padilla. So that's also significant and it's also strong. But they're not as resonant in Balanced Luzon and NCR the way the tandem of Duterte Marcos is. So and if people want to get more of the data, they can always subscribe to Okta Research. So yun yung marketing part doon. Pero this is the most significant tandem that we're seeing. And it suggests emergence of two basic groups. They're consolidating, their coalitions are different, completely different. And the country is divided. Balanced Luzon and NCR are moving in a different direction. And stronghold talaga ng Duterte ang Mindanao at saka Central Visayas.
So Professor, ibig sabihin mataas yung Duterte Marcos over Duterte Robin, Duterte Marcoleta.
For now. Yeah. Duterte Marcoleta is not resonating at all. They're actually losing in the tandems. So we have the data for that already. The second strongest is really Duterte. What you call this? Robin Padilla. Duterte Robin Padilla. Yeah. Almost as competitive, but this is the only matchup we saw where Robredo and Tulfo overtakes. So that's why we showed it. Yeah.
So to emphasize, Prof, ang pinili nyo ay basically yung strongest tandem sa inyong survey.
Yung consistently strong yung numbers over the past year, and so that is why we released this. These are the strongest tandems on the opposing side.
Yung Mogatol Llamas,
hindi nyo balak ba kayong Duterte and Cayetana? Kasi sa mga nangyayari ngayon, high profile ngayon.
Yeah, I think so. We can if there's enough. You see, Tita Ami, we base it on the preference of the quarter before. So we look at all those names where the preference is above 4%, around 4%. So we also have a tandem where we have Lenny and Bam versus a hypothetical match-up between Duterte and VP Duterte and Senator Marcos. So we have all of those. Pero these in all of these tandem combination simulations, Duterte Marcos always wins.
Yung Mogatol Llamas, hindi nyo ba ginawa yun? Mogatol Llamas.
Or Llamas Mogato.
Yung tandem na yun.
Ang meron kami, yung Llamas for Senator. At mukhang it's promising. Pero I want to emphasize, the undecided vote remains highly strategic. And there's so much of it against Luzon, And there's still a lot
Liit, ano?
in Visayas. The difference between the Robredo tandem and the Duterte tandem in Visayas is only 8 percentage points. And on the undecideds, including Visayas, I think are going to be the key in this hypothetical matchup or maybe even going to 2028. Nagko-consolidate na yung bansa along a different set of lines, a different set of groups. Mukhang balance to son ang weakness ng Duterte tandem. Ang weakness naman ng Robredo tandem is Mindanao.
Ano pong figure sa Mindanao, Prof?
Sa Mindanao, ang laki ho ng it's not worth discussing kasi talagang tambak. 86% ang Duterte tandem, yung Robredo tandem 5%. Tapos yung undecided 10% lang. So wala talagang medyo sweep doon, no? Pero sa Visayas po, medyo may laban. 48% ang Robredo Tulfo, Duterte Marcos 40%.
So battleground talaga yung Visayas.
Plus minus 8 percentage points. And that's pretty close as far as we're concerned. The national numbers are still very close, sir. And they're quite nominal. And there are ang dami pang undecided. So yan yung yung story. People are looking for an alternative. They're looking for new leaders and movements, and the undecided vote remains politically significant, may ultimately determine the balance.
Prof, panghuli, Prof.
I'll be asking the political scientist, Itong mga nangyayari ngayong kaguluhan, anong tingin mo magiging impact? Or will it have an impact on these numbers?
I think so, because ultimately, it will not just be the final vote for the impeachment. It will be the impact of this whole process. Will it be a conversion process for or against Sara Duterte? And I think the way it's been handled, the mess that has ensued, is going to hurt VP Duterte even more, especially if they delay the impeachment. And because many Filipinos, at least in our survey, 69% of Filipinos want a trial. They're not saying to convict; they just want a trial to happen. To give her the opportunity to clear her name. So, given the findings the allegations, the initial findings, and the fact that there's so much turmoil in the Senate, this can only be very bad for VP Duterte. So, the sooner, if they have the numbers from a political standpoint, they should have the impeachment right away.
Okay.
And to clear the name quickly. That could be a good strategy and end it all for her. The trend is going down. The trends are downward as far as VP Duterte is concerned, whether it's in trust or performance, or whether it's in preference. And we're seeing it now in the survey findings. And the second quarter, I feel, although we don't have the numbers yet, will continue, maybe even worsen that trend. And it will worsen even more if there's people see unfairness, if they feel that the process is unjust. The vote can be, to clear her name, not to convict her. But if people don't see the process as just, that's going to have an impact not just on VP Duterte, but also the Senate and our institutions.
Okay. Sir, we'd like to say thank you to Okta Research President, Professor Ranjit Rai. Sir, salamat po. Sorry, we've run out of time, but we'd like to say happy weekend to you.
Happy weekend. Thank you.
And we'd like to say happy weekend as well to Manny Mongato and Ami Pamintuan and to our resident political plotter.
Parang hindi happy weekend ng ibang senador.
Parang may gusto ko sabihin. Okay, you go back to your conspiracy cave and go like that. Okay. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Raul Llamas. Always a pleasure to have you on board. Manny Mogs and Ami Pamintuan, thank you very much. Jessica na Monday at 4 p.m. Ano mo? Ha?
Interpol.
Ha?
Interpol.
Ano yung Interpol?
Ito ang huli. Bato. Interpol.
Mogs, kailangan mo goodbye. Ikaw, magulo ka talaga. Jessica na Monday, 4 p.m. for Storycon. I'm Edgar Kapatid. We are one news all sides all the time.
This is the Story Conference Group or the Storycon Group.